Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Thank you to the faculty, our staff, students, and all of our friends who were able to join us this afternoon. We also have several friends, alums, and donors around the country who are with us today via a webcast of this program. So a very special and warm welcome and thanks to each and every one of you. You know, whether you've joined us here in person or are with us via the web, you are going to be among the very first to hear some wonderful news. During the past 2 years, we've been working hard to raise funds through the Promise and Power campaign for several campus improvements that, as we all know, are long overdue. At the beginning of this process, hundreds of faculty, staff, and students helped plan and prioritize the improvements our campus needs most. Once we settled on a plan, we launched the Promise and Power fundraising campaign to help pay for these improvements. This campaign has a $30 million goal, and more than 100 volunteers, donors, and alums have already made gifts to the campaign, so we are off to a strong start. But here's the first bit of great news. Today, we are announcing the public phase of this campaign with more than 90% of that $30 million goal already committed. Now, all that work is about to pay off. Yesterday, our Board of Trustees unanimously agreed to start construction this spring on Alverno's largest campus improvement project ever. So here's a preview of what's coming. First, we are going to build 9 new general education classrooms equipped with the latest teaching and learning technologies. 6 of these new classrooms will be in a new 3-story building that connects Alfonso Hall on the east to Christopher Hall on the west. This new building will be called Alexia Hall in honor of one of the founders of the School Sisters of St. Francis, who was also Alverno College's first president. Alexia Hall will also include a new nursing simulation center with 5 simulation suites. These suites are as useful to nursing students as flight simulators are to pilots. And since we're working with humans, I think even more important. They allow them to practice nursing in near lifelike settings, providing a stronger preparation for the challenges awaiting them after they graduate when they take care of you and me. That's the new Commons you see on the screen. The new Commons, along with everything that is currently the Liberal Arts Building, will be part of the newly renamed Founders Hall. These renovations will clearly double the size of our Commons. It will include a larger food-serving area, more food choices, more seating, and new meeting rooms. The Commons roof will be covered with plants to absorb rainfall. It's part of a larger sustainability plan that includes bioswales and underground retention tanks. Together, they can substantially reduce the amount of rainwater that flows into our storm sewers. Just outside the Commons will be a new cafe, a campus store, and a service learning center. When it's done, we will finally have enough room for all the student fundraisers, food drives, and other activities that crowd into the current Commons lobby. Next spring, students can participate in a naming contest for the new Commons, and the coffee shop and cafe. And everyone, students, faculty, and staff, will get a chance to provide feedback on possible furnishing and materials, submit photos of the construction process for use in Alverno social media, and help select some of the quotes that will appear in special spots throughout the campus. We also plan to consolidate most of the major student services in a student main street on the first floor adjacent to the Commons. These offices are currently spread across our campus. By consolidating them at the center of the action, students will find them easier to access and to use. A new art education suite with more art classrooms and a new dance studio will fill the lower level of the new Alexia Hall. The art gallery will move there too. I think a few of you are tired of the tunnel. About 40% of our students take art or dance courses each year to meet aesthetic engagement requirements. These new areas will give them better opportunities to develop those creative spirits. Finally, we'll add an outdoor garden adjacent to the Commons that honors the heritage of the School Sisters of St. Francis who have worked and taught here over the years. This Heritage Plaza will include outdoor tables and seating for days that are a lot more balmy than today. These are just the major improvements. There's more. I encourage you to visit the Commons lobby afterwards to get a closer look at the improvements that will soon begin. They come with a hefty price tag, $30 million. But you know what? Our students are worth it. We're worth it. And our future is worth every penny of it. And as I said earlier, we've already raised 90% of that amount. Be sure to visit the displays that will be outside the Commons after this session. But for now, here's a preview of what the new Commons will look like.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth O'Hara.
And I'm Daylin Harris. We're Alverno students. And in the next few minutes, we're going to guide you through one of the biggest changes ever on Alverno's campus.
As a part of its Promise and Power capital campaign, Alverno is going to be doing an extreme makeover on the Commons. That's the heart of the campus, for faculty, staff, and students. And we're remodeling the whole thing.
The Commons is where you eat.
If you can find room.
It's where you meet classmates to do work on projects, study together, or just hang out and talk.
If you can find room.
And it's where you can meet with professors, or where they can meet together when they want to talk about us students.
If they can find room.
Okay, right now the Commons is a little small.
It's way small. It was built in 1953 for 300 students. Now, about 1,000 students a day are trying to squeeze in.
But there's a new Commons coming.
And we're going to give you a sneak peek through the magic of animation. Okay, we're starting in the new first floor hallway of the Liberal Arts Building. We're at the bottom of the stairs by the 39th Street entrance, and we're entering the new cafe.
Wow, now I'll be able to get a mocha cappuccino while I study.
Next, we're going to head down the sloping hallway that runs along the north side of the Commons. The pillars will have artwork representing the 8 abilities.
Wait, where are all the student groups going to go? Like when they have sign-ups for breast cancer walks or collect stuff for food pantries.
Ta-da! Here's the new Commons entrance, with lots more room for student organizations to sell cupcakes, pitch their favorite causes, or whatever.
Awesome! But what's a Lobo store?
It's where you get pens, notebooks, sweatshirts, coffee mugs, and stuff like that. It'll have a different name by the time it opens.
Wait, that's not the Commons, is it? It's so big!
It's twice as big. There'll be bigger food service area too, and a lot more seating space. Plus, a couple of features you're just going to love.
Like this loft area we're coming up to?
Yeah, this will be a seating area by day, but clear off the seats at night and you've got a stage.
I just thought of something. Is tuition going to go up to pay for all of this?
That's the best part. It's being paid for entirely through contributions alums and friends make to the college's Promise and Power campaign.
They're doing this for us?
And for the thousands more students who will follow in our footsteps. Oh, here's a second neat feature, student meeting rooms.
So, are you telling me that for student group meetings or student study groups, we can actually reserve one of these?
We can. We don't have to squeeze around a table in the commons anymore.
Or go off campus. This is way cool. Hey, wait. It looks like we're heading outside. The new commons has outdoor seating too?
This actually is called the Heritage Garden. Each of the stones in the wall will have the name of one of the school sisters who taught or worked here. This quote is from one of the school sisters' past presidents, Mother Clemens.
Okay, when can we move in?
As soon as the capital campaign is done.
Tell those donors to make their gifts before I graduate. I want my new commons.
Doesn't that look amazing? I'd also like to acknowledge, and I'm sure he's with us today, Scott Ramlow, who is our architect from Eli & Wilson, who in many ways, I see him here so much, I think he's here full time, but he really has done a terrific job and someone that we trust so much, so a warm thank you to you, Scott. Well, here's the best part of what you've just seen. We will be in that wonderful new commons space by the start of the fall 2014 semester. That's just 8 months away. It's exciting. Well, now it's my great pleasure to introduce the chair of our Board of Trustees, Mary Beth Burkus. Mary Beth graduated from Alverno with a degree in nursing. She quickly gravitated toward the medical device industry, where she led a division of Bristol Myers Squibb. She later co-founded Linden Capital Partners, a private equity firm that invests in healthcare companies. Mary Beth has played a leading role in the Promise and Power campaign, and as chair of our board, provides us the board's perspective on this great event for Alverno today. So please join me in welcoming Mary Beth Burkus.
Thank you, Mary, for the introduction, and for so many other things as well. And I'm going to just hand these off here for thanks, sister. And for those of you who are on the web, are watching us from your computers and watching the webcast, it is 75 degrees and sunny and in Milwaukee today, and we wish you were here. But please don't pay attention to the salt that's on our shoes right now. So thank you again. And congratulations and thanks to the faculty and the staff and the students here who have helped plan these exciting improvements to the campus. They are certainly exciting. And although I heard that a few of you who are a little disappointed that the spa did not make it into the mix, these are still very exciting, and the spa may never make it into the mix here. But anyway, and I want to extend a heartfelt thanks to the donors who helped make today possible. Could the donors who are here today please stand? Can we have the house lights on? And we'd like to thank you with a round of applause. We could not be celebrating this announcement without your help and your belief and support of this wonderful college. This is a great day. It has really been an exciting week. We had our board meeting yesterday. I can't tell you how delighted the board was to have passed approval of starting this project. And all of the improvements that Mary mentioned just a minute ago are certainly an occasion to celebrate. On behalf of the board, I want to share with you why we think these improvements are so important and why we supported the start of construction so enthusiastically. It comes down to 3 reasons. First, we believe the teaching and learning here is truly extraordinary. We believe the facilities in which it occurs should be equally as extraordinary, and at the very least, support the fantastic faculty and students that we have here, and not deter the learning in this college. And we believe that with these improvements, one of the best educations available to women anywhere will become even better. Hard to imagine. How strongly do the trustees believe in what we are doing here? Well, we didn't just talk. It wasn't just a lot of words. Our Board of Trustees is extraordinarily generous and truly believed in this project. When we started this campaign, the trustees set a goal for themselves of $10 million to raise of the $30 million, just themselves. Well, I'm happy to tell you, so proud and so thankful, that we have already surpassed the $10 million mark, and the Board of Trustees is now at a level of $10.2 million, and there are more donations coming in, so many, many thanks to the Board of Trustees. And our trustees do more than contribute. They actually have worked very hard and continue to work very hard on this campaign. Paul Purcell, Don Layden, Ellen Gardner, a 1969 alum of Alverno, are co-chairing the fundraising committee for the Promise and Power campaign. More than a dozen other trustees sit on the committee, and not just sit, I must say, are out working and raising money for us. Let me assure you, they speak eloquently, frequently, and persistently on your behalf. The second reason why we are so ready to get construction going is the strong showing our alums have made thus far in the campaign. Overall, our alums already have contributed nearly $8 million to the Promise and Power Fund Drive. This is a huge step ahead in alum giving, and it has made a deep impression on all the trustees. Our alums are the future of this school, and their support is critical for us to move forward. As a member of the class of '75, I am so proud of the way our alums have stepped up to support our college and the amazing work that you are accomplishing here. The final reason for starting construction now may be the most important. As trustees, we are keenly aware, and in fact, people are drawn to being a trustee here because of the difference Alverno-educated women can make in this world. The abilities Alverno students develop can make a powerful impact in business, in healthcare, in education, in science, and in a dozen other fields. Over the next 2 or 3 decades, over 20,000 women and men for our graduate programs will walk through these doors and be educated here at Alverno. So we must keep this college healthy and growing, and a place where people want to spend time, learn great things, and make a difference in this world. We know these capital improvements will improve the education every one of them receives. Great teaching in a great environment makes a huge difference. So this campaign is ultimately for all the women out there today and tomorrow who come here to make their mark. We want them to make it as deep and as telling as possible. From better classrooms with more technology to bigger commons with more room to meet, to eat, and to work together, we want to do our very best for you and all the students who will follow in your footsteps and stand on your shoulders. As Mary mentioned, there is more work ahead. We're not quite there. We've got a little bit to go yet, but we're close to complete this campaign. And we're looking forward to finishing it off. And we're certainly aware that a better campus is just one of the many improvements needed to keep Alverno great. From better pay scales to expanded recruitment, we have an ambitious to-do list. There is no shortage of things to do. The sooner we can declare victory and this campaign a success, the sooner we can move on to the important challenges ahead. So it is now my great pleasure to welcome and introduce Sister Carol Ragali, representing the School Sisters of St. Francis. It was the vision of the School Sisters 126 years ago that created the Alverno we have today, and it created the Alverno we aspire to be in the future. Sister Carol serves as the provincial coordinator for the U.S. province of the School Sisters, and her lifelong ministry has been in education throughout the United States, particularly in the capacity of administrative leadership. Sister Carol is joining us today to bestow a special blessing from the School Sisters on this exciting project we are undertaking for Alverno. Sister Carol. You just come on over and I'll walk around.
Mary Beth, thank you very much. Let us imagine ourselves this afternoon as we celebrate the culmination of so much planning, hovering above this complex we call Alverno, taking in the whole scene and enjoying the view below, and anticipating a whole new look, a transformation brought about through new buildings and reimagining space. Are you there yet? So now that we have lifted our spirits even higher, let us reflect on this special moment and ask God's blessing on all those whose wonderful gifts are making so much more possible for the Alverno community, on all those whose careful attention and persistent efforts helped encourage generosity from so many, on all those whose inspired planning and hard work resulted in beautiful and useful new spaces, on all of us who will need to practice much patience as cranes and trucks and construction surround us in the upcoming months. With all this in mind, dear God, we ask your abundant blessings on those assembled here as we look forward to enjoying more classrooms and meeting spaces, better study environments, better dining places, and in the end, better teaching and learning for all of the Alverno community. Amen.
Thank you, Sister, for asking that blessing upon our work. We are so grateful and so proud to carry on the School Sisters' heritage and your mission for us. In a few minutes, a new section of the Alverno website will go live with all sorts of information about the Promise and Power campaign and the improvements it will make possible. The animation of the Commons you saw earlier will be on this page, along with construction schedules, information on campus progress, and other news. We'll also have a video that gives a broader view on the campaign and the improvements it will make possible. Like everything we do at Alverno, students play the big role in this video. And one of those students of tomorrow who will be coming to Alverno someday makes an appearance in it too. This video, entitled Tomorrow's Promise, was developed by Alverno's marketing and development staff to introduce the campaign and the improvements it will make possible. I hope you'll enjoy it.
What are you building?
A college.
What college are you building?
Alverno.
Oh, why are you adding on to it?
So it'll be ready when I grow up.
Over the next 30 years, 20,000 women will walk through the doors of Alverno. Each and every one of them will be excited to start their higher education or continue their higher education and start the process of building their professions. Professions in which they'll excel and in which they'll make a difference. And that's what we teach here at Alverno. We launched the Promise and Power campaign to ensure that Alverno would provide the best education possible for generations to come.
People talk about the need for more women leaders, more women in science, math, and engineering, more women of color in business, in healthcare, and in a dozen other fields. Yes, women can help meet the challenges we'll face in the years to come. But if you want women to play bigger roles in our communities, in our nation, and in our world, you have to invest in their education. It's that simple.
History teaches us one thing, it's that each generation needs to improve on the last generation. Reading, writing, and arithmetic may have been great for our grandparents, but today's students and the next generation need more advanced abilities. This campaign is all about providing better resources for the teaching and learning of those abilities.
People come from all over the world to study Alverno's teaching methods. When it comes to developing student abilities, Alverno is the gold standard. For 40 years now, we have provided one of the most innovative educations available for students. With more classroom space and with advanced cutting-edge teaching and learning technologies like our simulation center, we'll have a campus every bit as advanced as our curriculum.
Our faculty and our staff are the greatest assets we have, but you can't teach 21st century abilities with 20th century technologies and spaces. That's why we launched the Promise and Power campaign. It connects the promise of Alverno's students to the power of our teaching for decades to come.
Alverno's enrollment has grown 35% in the past decade. We need more classrooms, and we need classrooms with the technologies that connect students with learning resources all over the globe. The Promise and Power campaign makes sure we have them.
People don't realize we're the largest nursing school in the state. Through the Promise and Power campaign, we'll add nursing simulation suites so students can practice nursing in lifelike situations. With our new Nursing Simulation Center, we can make sure tomorrow's nurses are prepared for tomorrow's challenges.
Every Alverno student takes courses in art and dance during her career. In fact, about 40% of all students take arts courses every year. The campaign will make possible an expanded arts education area, and unlike today's classrooms, it'll have plenty of room and lots of natural light.
One of the changes I'm most excited about is the new Commons. We've got students from all over the region, and we need a place to gather and work together.
We're 3 times larger now. The new Commons will have places to work together, dine, relax, and hang out. And we'll consolidate all student services adjacent to it to make them accessible and easy to use.
The total cost is $30 million, but we've already raised more than 90% of that. We're counting on our alums, friends, and supporters to get us to the finish line. We want to make sure we can complete this project without one dime of tuition money. Tomorrow's students are expecting a lot from us, and we're expecting a lot from them. This is what we need to make sure they're ready to succeed.
Do it for me.
Do it for me.
Do it for me.
Do it for me. And me.
Do it for all of us. Support Promise and Power.
Maybe we could also just give a little thanks to all the people who put this together. You have no idea, unless you're in our marketing or advancement department, how much work has gone into this, our media hub people, all the people that made this possible. Thank you. So when does it start? We're planning to begin work on these improvements in mid-February, just a few months away. And I'm praying that it's a little warmer. I really don't know how these people are going to do it, but we know they will. It will take a couple of years and a few inconveniences to complete these changes, but they will help all of us do a better job for our students for many decades to come. As excited as we all are to start, I want to leave you with one very important point. There is more work to do on this fundraising campaign. During the next 6 months, we are going to work very hard to raise the final $3 million we need. Every contribution will help. In our last campaign, which built what's now the Sister Joelle Reed Center, an Alverno Institute participant happened to mention to an Alverno faculty member that she had a brother named Morgridge. He owned a company called Cisco. John and Tasha Morgridge then became important supporters of that fund drive. So, if you happen to have relatives with names like Gates or Buffett, or a nephew or a cousin named Mark Zuckerberg, we'll talk. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks to all of you who have joined us via the web. We know that some of you here on campus have classes or need to grab a quick lunch, so we're adjourning now to the Old Commons. There you can view detailed drawings, enjoy the videos, and ask members of the Public Areas Committee any questions you may have. And while you're there, help yourself to some of the special Power and Promise cake and refreshments. I'd like to ask all of you to please exit through the rear doors of the theater, and don't forget to visit the Commons for more information. Christmas is coming early at Alverno, so Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and thanks to all of you again for all of your patience and all of your support during these past months, and certainly as we move forward into the future. God bless you. Fund drive.